morning. Mr. President, how are you,
sir? Good morning, Tavis. I'm well. Thank you very much.
Holding all politicians accountable to you. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk
1588. As I drift through the sky, shooting Cupid's loving arrow, you just might try. So don't be afraid, take your time. You've only got one chance, yeah. Come on, come on, come on.
You are checking out the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. It is a Thursday night, and it is time for a fire raw report. So, Annie, let's not even waste any time. Let's jump into it. Come on, let's go. You ready?
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin A.
highlighting people and things you should know about.
From entrepreneurs and entertainers to money and meditation.
Robin's got you covered.
Get out of here.
Follow Robin at Robin A. You're listening to the Raw Report on the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Robin's got a lot to talk about.
I love when we have smart people in the studio. I love when we have smart people on the Raw Report.
That to me.
Get up out your head, Danny. Get up out your head. I am talking about Rosina Pierce, who is the founder and CEO of RJ Pierce Law Group. I love that, where she specializes in cutting-edge trademark services. And this trademark pioneer won't stop until every entrepreneur understands the importance of brand and business ownership via trademark law. Love that. She also has, she's worked with a ton of people. Listen, she over here like really killing the game. Celebrities such as Angela Simmons, who we saw her on the Shade Room today. Maybe you could give us a tea. No, I'm just playing. Angela Simmons, Twista, Sierra Gates, and so many more. You're just helping a lot of people establish themselves, brand themselves, and that's what it's all about. So please welcome Rosina Pierce to the Raw Report. Thank you so much for having me. Of course. So, my goodness, you really are smart like this, huh? You're out here helping the world of entrepreneurs.
Yes, I absolutely love what I do, and when you love what you do, it comes from a different place of passion and service. Like, I feel like, I serve in God's capacity by educating people.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to sound so messed up, but I have to hit you with this.
Yes.
Please forgive me in advance, all right?
Okay.
You are, like, stunningly beautiful at the same time. So, like, is it difficult to people? Has it ever been hard for people to, like, take you seriously, like, as an attorney?
Girl, yeah.
So you do go through that.
All the time. And, they say black don't crack, so people, take me as a young lady. I'm 40 years old. My son is 21.
Woo!
Yes. And so,
she better work.
So they, sometimes people, first they're going to talk down to you, one, because you're black, two, because you're a woman and they think you're young, three. And so sometimes I have to just re-educate people and let them know, like I was just at like a lawyer conference and, somebody introduced me to another lawyer who's a prominent attorney, and he was like, oh, what do you do? I was like, I do trademark law. And he was like, oh, I'm going to introduce you to one of the top trademark attorneys in the country. And I was like, actually, I'm number 15 out of 33,000 trademark attorneys. So, I'm, and he was like, oh, you are? And I was like, yeah, and I actually own my own law practice, which placed number 37 in the country out of over 28,000 trademark attorneys.
That's a mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop.
Yeah, because they expect, they don't expect it, right? Because I am, a young black woman that looks very young, so it does happen a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. Is that something that you had to develop over time? Because, we're talking about business here, and we'll get into trademark. I have some questions about that, but my question is really, like, just in business in general. First of all, it's difficult for people to, even if they have that entrepreneurial spirit, it's difficult for them to kind of take place in the market, right?
Yeah.
But secondly, to have to like build up the confidence to start checking people in a nice way, of course, in a very respectful way, I guess.
Yeah.
But to really kind of do that, is that something that you had to build up for yourself, or did you always have that energy? Like, listen, no, I'm gonna really kind of check people politely.
Well, I'm from the west side of Chicago.
Hey,
so.
I was gonna bring it up now.
So, and just where I'm from, you have to be on guard and, check people here and there, right? Because everybody's trying to do some checking around you. And I think, I never regret where I come from, right? Because it really prepared me for who I needed to be, right? Like my first time in court, my opposing counsel was very disrespectful. And I had to let him know and let the record reflect for the court, that I am not to be disrespected. Like I'm here as an attorney of a court of law, the officer of the court. Yeah. And there should be some candor in this conversation, and it should not be disrespectful. And once I put it on record, he knew, I can't play with her. I can't because, you can really, because I know the law. And I know, like, you wouldn't do this to my counterpart if they look like other than me, right?
That's
so don't disrespect me because I'm here. And I ain't going nowhere.
Clearly not. I mean, you're like I said earlier, you're out here taking the game by storm, and it's not a game really, but I'm just saying in terms of like all the people that you're helping. Where did that passion come from? Because trademark is very specific as well. And so, to say like, listen, I want to help people establish themselves and protect their businesses. Where did that come from?
It's so funny because I was just talking about this in a car ride on the way over here. My father always wanted me to be a criminal lawyer because we come from a place where 7 out of 10 black men are arrested, right? They're faced with like criminal situations like it's Chicago, right? And it's, it's a broken justice system that's there. And so he just really wanted me to be in that system, but I said, I probably can make more impact and more change if I can help my people have economic power, right? Because then in that case, we can control who actually is policing our communities, and therefore they're not just taking us immediately to the jailhouse, but maybe they're taking us home instead, right? Because we're paying the people and they respect the people of the community that they're policing. So I felt that they can come with economic power because Chicago is one of the most segregated cities still to this day in the country, right? But we're the only community where everybody else own a business in our community, right? Like we couldn't go to Chinatown and set up businesses, Greektown, right? It's very hard for black Americans to do it there, but everybody can do business in our community, right? And so I think like by us establishing our own presence with our own businesses and things like that, we can control, right, how many times people are taking us to jail and things like that. So therefore, I was just like, I actually want to do something different, and I want to shift the paradigm, like, because how can I be impactful if I'm running to the courthouse arguing to get people out of jail when I can actually help prevent them from actually going to jail?
She's over here dropping nuggets. You are listening to Rosina Pierce inside the Raw Report. When we come forward, I'm actually going to have you break down what that is, just in layman's terms, because there's a lot of people who have businesses who are like, I could just do business on the table or under the table, however you would say it, but there's something underneath it that needs to be established, and I want you to break that down when we come forward. You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles, middays to nighttime, like George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
What night,
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community, to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
It's pro time because at Lowe's, it's Provember. Save big with inventory you can count on, like Flex products or DeWalt power tools starting at just $99. Plus, Lowe's MVPs members earn up to 3 times bonus points per dollar on select items. Save all Provember long. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. MVPs Pro Rewards Program. Subject to change. Prices valid from 10/17/22 to 2/3/23 or until supplies last.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, reminding you, when we fight, we win. Central CSO organizes for the rights of the undocumented, quality public education, and supporting in solidarity other communities seeking social justice. Central CSO stands for Chicano X, self-determination, defending public education, and fighting for all oppressed people in Boyle Heights and East Los Angeles. Find Central CSO meetings every third Wednesday. Visit online at centralcso.wordpress.com or on Instagram at CentralCS. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Health is Wealth and Medicare and Covered California's open enrollment for medical just right for you and your family. Call 562-204-6120 for your free quote. Don't leave your health to chance. Open enrollment is here and affordable coverage is just a phone call away. Call 562-204-6120 for your free quote and get the coverage you need. Go to www.rhjins.com.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
And we are smack dab inside the Raw Report. Take it away, Queen.
And you are still listening to Rosina Pierce inside the Raw Report. She's the founder and CEO of RJ Pierce Law Group, where she is helping everyone. She said every entrepreneur needs to understand the importance of a brand and business ownership via trademark law. Just very quickly, break down trademark law. You have this question that you asked, and you said that basically you wouldn't purchase or you wouldn't build a home on land that you don't own, right? So break that down for us and what that means for business owners.
Yeah, because sometimes people think I'm just speaking trademark law because I'm a trademark attorney, which I am because I see worst cases happen, right? But what tends to resonate when I ask people, will you build a house on land you don't own or land you haven't cleared, right? And they be like, no, why would I do that? And I'm like, right, so why do we build businesses and brands if we do not own them, right? Like, ownership is so powerful, right? And when you have ownership, it's hard, right? Like going to the Kanye situation, like, you know, it took Adidas 10 days to fire him, right? After he said all the things he said, not because they like Kanye, right? Kanye was giving them from the beginning, right? But it was because Kanye controlled the ownership of his name, the power of his name, and they knew if they let him go, they was letting go that brand name. And so trademarking is so important. Like, you know, people always say, you know, well, I need to make money first, but okay, what if you make money and now you hit with a lawsuit because now people are demanding 3 times the profit amounts that you just made because you didn't own the name and they actually own the name, and now you're infringing on their rights. So it's very important that we do not put the cart before the horse, and we don't be, you know, reactive. We be proactive to make sure that we do the research first up front, making sure no one else owns this name so that we actually are owning what we're building.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Kanye, I'm glad that you brought that up because obviously we all saw what he did as far as rocking the White Lives Matter T-shirts, and then he got Candace Owens on board, and like we're like, wait, what's going on, right? What is going on? But then we quickly found out the 2 gentlemen who own that trademark. What does that mean? I know when you saw this story happen, I know you were probably like rubbing your hands like this is trademark, you know, all written all over it. what does that mean exactly? He can't do anything because these gentlemen own it, and in that process. Just break that
So
down.
I was really frustrated with the headlines of this story because it kept saying that Kanye can't sell the White Lives Matter shirts because of these two gentlemen who own the trademark.
Okay.
Which that was not factual. That was not true, actually. Because actually, Candace Owens, she posted the photograph October 3rd. And if you look up the gentleman's application, they filed the application October 3rd. And there is two type of applications that you can file under the law. One is a use application. One is an intent to use application. They filed an intent to use application, meaning they could not show any usage. So if Kanye really wanted to oppose these gentlemen, he actually could because he can show prior use. And under the law, if you can show prior use, you are technically the rightful trademark owner.
Whoa.
And when you file
Yeah.
a trademark, that doesn't mean you automatically own it. It goes through a process first,
yeah,
right? And so it used to take the government 3 to 4 months to review it, but then COVID hit, and then, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, they thought we were going to quarantine and chill. We started quarantining and creating, and I was out educating, and so everybody was filing applications, and so now it takes actually about 12 months just for the government to review the application. So while everybody is saying they own these rights, they do not, because it has to go through a process first. And in the process, if the government is to approve it, which I don't even think the government will, and I'll come back and say why I don't think they will, but if they was to approve it, Kanye will then have 30 days in the process to oppose their trademark. And then that's where he can insert his prior usage. And if they cannot show that they was using the trademark before him, then he will actually win the rights to it. And so, and you know, like, I'm like, I know somebody in media know better, right? Like it's trademark 101.
Do your research before reporting that.
Exactly. It's very easy, and I think it was just a very disservice to our community because it's like one black man against two black men pit together, and it's all based on false information, right? And so I was just like, this is crazy. Like, why? You know, why would their attorney allow them to get on CNN and say we have no intent to use the trademark, but we just that's the number one no because trademark law is vested in usage. So now not only do I have prior use against you, I also have your CNN testimony saying that you have no bona fide intent to use it. So now your application is voided because you don't have any intentions to use it, which is what you signed off on when you actually filed for the application. But also going back to why I don't think it would be protected is because Black Lives Matter, if you look it up, is not even a registered trademark, and the government has said that it fails to function as a trademark because the source identifier is lost, right? Trademark law is based on how we can relate to who the source is of a product or service. And because the source identifier is lost on Black Lives Matter, it got to be lost on White Lives Matter, right? Because everybody, who owns it? Who's really selling it?
Right.
So it would probably be deemed to fail to function as a trademark, even if Kanye do not oppose it. So it's so many different moving multifacets there like that. You don't really have to truly understand trademark law, but those headlines was just dead wrong and false.
You just hit us with so much information, and that clarity I think is so important for, just even us, just, you know, we don't even, it's oftentimes you read things in the media as well. We report on it, we read things, we try to dig in deep, but this is probably the most extensive that I've heard, anyone go into that specific case. So thank you for breaking that down. You mentioned that now it's taking a lot longer. I was a part of that process, the trademark process. I didn't know you then, you know. I would have hit my girl up. But about 9 to 12 months. I mean, it just takes so long. Do you feel like that will ever go back down to like a 3 to 4 month period?
The government is trying. They're hiring more examiners. So it would typically take the whole process of 7 to 9 months. Now it's taking about 12 to 18 months, but other countries like Canada take about 3 years. So we still beating other countries with the process, right? But the government has to hire people in this state of the economy and how people are getting laid off left and right. I don't know if that's going to come soon. And so it's like we probably have to patiently wait. But what I will say, it is a government process. It is a legal process. But you want to make sure you get your application on file as soon as possible. Because even though regardless of how long it takes, your filing date will be your priority date over anyone else who files behind you. So, and I don't even think Kanye really had, and based on what he said, really true intentions on selling White Lives Matter shirts.
Nah, he
did
that
it.
stupid.
Yeah, he did it to prove a point, right? But if he wanted to file that trademark after the fact, those guys' application will be priority, and now the burden of proof shifts to Kanye to actually prove, right, his prior usage, and they will have that priority over him, and it's on him to take action against it. And so, but that's a lesson for us as business owners, whereas if we are creating, a brand and things like that, we don't want to get so far out, and then we built this brand, and now someone has filed the trademark before us, and now we're spending more money to actually prove that we own it, and we were the first ones to use it.
Wow. You have children, three kids. Am I right?
3. Yes.
Are they business entrepreneur minded or
them kids? So I relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, 2017. My son was 15 years old. He's 21 years old now. He wants to move to LA. He wants to come to LA. He wants to, be, in the show business, movie industry. And I'm like, son, you could just stay here and, Black Hollywood and Atlanta and do that. So, and LA is just really on his heart. And my daughter, my middle child, she's 17. She's graduating, and she really wants to go to NCAT. So North Carolina A&P, and she wants to major in product supply chain management. Because she wants to start her own business in fashion industry. And then I have a 10-year-old, and I just been planting in her head since Doc Miss Stuffins. She came on, you're going to be a doctor, baby. And so right now, in her mind, she's going to be a veterinarian. So nobody wants to be a lawyer like mommy does.
Nobody.
They're
leaving it to you. They're like, listen, we'll pass all of our, our contracts and documents, whatever, to mom. Just like your own children, what would be the very first thing if you're saying you're watching your kids go into business? What is the first thing you tell them? Is it important? I mean, I know all of those things go hand in hand. Branding, trademark, ownership, right? What is the first thing you tell your kids?
I always tell them, like, okay, what we coming up? What's the name? Like, what is the name we're going to do, right? And you want to come up with something distinctive, because the more distinctive it is, the easier it is to protect it. And so my kids actually do have trademarks on file, because they come in with these brands. My son wants to be an actor, so his name is Diavante. We filed that trademark for him because as an entertainer, right, or a media personality or anything, you're providing a service with your name attached to it. So you want to own that name, right? Because think about all the Martha Stewarts that cannot use their name now, right?
That's right.
And they can only use it in their individual capacity on their driver's license and to pay bills, right? But when it comes to business, Martha Stewart, the one we know that, smoke with Snoop Dogg, she got that name sold up in the business industry. And so it's all about, like, making sure we protect the foundation first. So I'm making sure the foundation is protected and solid, and they can go build from there.
That's interesting that you say that, because I never even thought of trademark in terms of your name. Always thinking business and products and things like that, but you are a brand, you are a business, right? So if you go out like media personalities, I never thought about that. So you can actually go ahead and trademark your name. Now, is trademarking different than registering?
So you're talking about registering your business, incorporating your business. Yes, it is. And a lot of people think, I have my LLC, I'm good, right? And so we call it a term incorporation, right? Because a lot of times we think an LLC is the best entity type for us, and it may not be, right? Because the law is not a one-size-fits-all garment. You might need a corporation, right? Or you may need an LLC, and it may need to be taxed as an S-Corp. A lot of people they think, it's an S-Corp. No, an S-Corp is a federal designation that's taxed by the IRS to tell you how to tax you as a business owner. So you have to decide what's best for that. But you incorporate under your Secretary of State. So while you're incorporated under your Secretary of State, you still need to have protection that protects you across the nation, right? And that's where trademark law comes in at. So if you look at like Fortune 500 companies, like for instance, Nike is incorporated under the Secretary of State of Oregon, but they actually own the trademark under the USPTO, which is the federal guideline. So in case someone is operating or stealing their name or using their name, let's say in Florida, because they're only incorporated in the Secretary of State of Oregon. Oregon can only reach within the arms of the state, right? They now have that trademark that can reach into like federal court in the state of Florida and kind of govern those people outside of those jurisdictions.
You are listening to Rosina.
I had a question too, but we almost out of time here.
Sorry.
Real quick, is the trademark, the trademarking of the brand and a patent, is that the actual concept? What's the difference?
That is a great question because it's actually 4 different types of intellectual property. So a trademark will actually give you rights to your name, your logo, your slogan, or a sound. Not a lot of people know you can protect the sound like you got mail. A patent will actually give you protection over an invention, right? So think about like the Super Soaker, like Mr. Lonnie Johnson.
Black man.
Yes, black man. He invented the Super Soaker. So like the patent is going to protect like the mechanics of how the Super Soaker actually pumps to push the water out, right? That's the patent. But the trademark is the name Super Soaker. That's being protected.
Thank you.
All right, listen, you drop bars. I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play this back so I can write my notes. Where can everyone find you if they want to do business with you and have you help them with their business?
I would say follow me on Instagram at The Biz Lawyer. So everybody knows me as The Biz Lawyer. Some people don't even know my name, Rosina. But it's The Biz Lawyer, THEBIZ Lawyer. Be aware there's a lot of fake and scam accounts out there. So it's my only account, The Biz Lawyer. And also you can go to my website at www.rjpiercelawgroup.com.
124,000 followers too, by the way.
I'm sure. Well, clearly, I already told you. I prepped this whole entire interview by saying she's out here doing her thing. We thank you so much for coming inside the Raw Report on the Danny Morrison Show. Keep doing your thing. You are so impressive, and we appreciate you. We appreciate all that you're doing. Thank you
so much. I appreciate you guys for having me.
News and traffic right now. More with the Raw Report on the other side. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Russia is taking Brittany Griner to a penal colony in the Mordovia region. Reuters reports the American basketball star was moved to an undisclosed prison location. Griner was sentenced to 9 years in a penal colony on drug charges in August. The white gunman charged in a racially motivated mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, will plead guilty. That's according to an attorney representing victims' families. Peyton Gendron shot and killed 10 black people at a grocery Buffalo Bills and Cleveland Browns from Buffalo to Detroit, as the city is one of many to get hit by a major snowstorm this week. The National Weather Service in Buffalo warned of a long event. It's expected to be the worst Thursday through Friday night. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Don't let a traffic accident ruin your day. Call 1-800-INFO-FIX to find the nearest Fix Auto location. Their highly trained and certified technicians will have you back on the road in no time. You have a choice on who fixes your vehicle. Tell your insurance agent you want to go to Fix Auto.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA?
thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community. And I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
For KBLA Talk 1580, Talk 1580, Talk 1580, we don't back down. We got lots to talk about.
When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Our team is in it to win it, and we'll fight to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
Did you know fixing outdoor leaks can save 27 to 90 gallons of water per day? Even tiny leaks can be huge water wasters. Conserving water starts with a few simple water-saving actions at home and in your yard, like adjusting your sprinklers and adding drip irrigation so you water only where it's needed. We can all do our part to conserve water. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more water-saving tips. Save water, save California.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Ew. Stuck in a cycle of rewashing your clothes? Because you can't remove tough laundry odor? When detergent by itself can't cut it, use new Downy Rinse and Refresh. With a breakthrough odor-removing formula, it removes odors in one wash. Better than value detergent in 3 washes, keeping all your laundry fresh. Now you can break the cycle of rewashing. With Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at ChooseChangeCA.org.
Your home is the largest investment you'll make in a lifetime. But do you even know what it's really worth? Now, Ownerly.com gives you the information that real estate investors and professional agents don't want you to see. Knowing your home's worth helps you get the best value when selling and helps you manage it when not. Need a home valuation? Ownerly.com gives you 3, while the other guys only offer 1. It's time to take ownership of your home with Ownerly.com. That's OWNERLY.com. Ownerly.com. See what your home's worth. Paid for by Ownerly.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing. What's the best product I bought this year? Oh, that's easy. Salonpas pain relieving patches. The proven medicines in Salonpas patches reduce my pain and let me do the things I need to do every day.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas reported improved sleep, mood, and the ability to work. They had less pain and were able to reduce their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salonpas. It's good medicine.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Assalamualaikum, bro. Whenever you're in Dubai, we have a zoo in the house.
Pulled up in the big boy for leaps to make the big boys watch. Bill of Sweets in the Fendi Chateau. Now ask Big Meech what he know about Joe. I'll fly like get mines with Jay. Got every pretty looking trying to ride my wave. Gotta have some weights in the face shot day. Lay up in the crib and menage all day. Went from nothing to something. Now I'm pushing the button to the race and the jury like a safe. It's 100 on the hate, but I'm zoned on the cake. And I'm gonna miss ya like the gold on the crystal. Hit Ivy total switch downs. Green prawns and Philippe Chow. It ain't to me. No Drake, but the P is free. She got cake, but it's something to see.
Right. Come on.
All I know is how they keep it super clear. Good head on your shoulder, damn it's super there. When you send a text, I get so excited. Yeah, I got a new flex, and I think I like it. Yeah. All I know is how they keep it super clear. Good head on your shoulder, damn it's super there. When you send a text, I get so excited. Yeah, I got a new flex, and I think I like it. Ooh,
you were checking out the Dan Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Look at Fat Joe. It was interesting seeing him today talking about he should have had a Grammy by now, pretty much popped in his own collar. I don't know where I put Fat Joe in the history of hip hop, in the lexicon of hip hop music. Where do you put Fat Joe?
Not very, very high. He's not. I mean, what I give Fat Joe is his. He's maintained a since we're using that word today. He has maintained relevancy over the years. You know, he was doing this thing with Big Pun, then he was doing it by himself, of course, and then Murder Inc. You know, when he got a lot of love and input from Ashanti and her gift onto his songs, that really did a fantastic thing for him. But also with Remy Ma, that was sort of a renewing for him. Seems to be always tied to someone else, though.
That's true. I can't think of a song where he's a solo artist.
That's what I'm saying. It's very hard to think of him as a solo artist. But now, I mean, he's doing his podcasting. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's maintained and leveled up. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
That's real talk. I love how he said he was never going to use the N-word again, and then he changed his mind, and now he's back using it.
Is this right?
And you were going to say something?
Nah, just, he made records like Lean Back.
Lean Back was a heater!
Definitely a heater. A New York anthem. And, he shared the song with Jadakiss and Ja Rule, the New York song. He made a lot of anthems.
Yeah.
Robin's right, though. He's never by himself, though. That's...
Yeah.
Wow. That was an amazing interview, by the way. I love when you bring people in here to teach me something.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot. And to even have gone through the process of, trademark myself, I went through and still kind of am going through it, but I thought that I knew some things. You know what I'm saying? But clearly, I'm not a trademark attorney, nor do I even really have great communications with my own trademark attorney. So this was very, very helpful for me. So hopefully, really for anyone who's listening who wants to start a business or consider themselves a business, as in like a personality, hopefully they learn something. And if you didn't learn what you needed to know, then go to the biz lawyer and follow her and, hit her up and get some information.
Somebody better trademark Robin Ayers real quick.
I'm surprised you never done that. I know. I never really thought about trademarking my own name. I do have Billionaires.
That's fire.
Yeah, my company name is Billionaires.
But you're a brand.
Yeah, Well,
no, I'm saying you Robin Ayers. It's a brand. I'm surprised you haven't done it.
Yeah, I hadn't. Now, don't be giving nobody no ideas.
Hey, real talk, somebody right now. Or how do you spell Ayers?
But I love when she said thinking of a different kind of name, like something a little bit more unique, and that's why I spelled Billionaires with my last name, because it's not the typical Billionaires the way you spell it, and so it's no one's necessarily thinking, unless that's part of your name as well. No one's going to think about trademarking or using that name as a business.
Until right now.
It's already protected. Sorry.
Look at you.
To that point, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and one thing that I know about wrestling is that it's imperative that a lot of the owners they change the individual's name, right? There's certain wrestlers that utilize their real name, like John Cena, Randy Orton, and the reason why they want to change their names like if you're Vince McMahon, the reason why you want to change their name is because you pretty much get all the profits when it comes to merch. As opposed to like John Cena, for example, that's his real name. So any shirt that they print up, obviously Vince McMahon of the WWE, they get that. Gets a cut. But if you're Danny Morrison, you're coming into the wrestling world, and I change your name to the Terminator, the Black Terminator.
I would dominate.
You wouldn't get like a cut, for example, right? Because it says Black Terminator, and you don't have your real name on it.
When The Rock was in the league, was he Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
He wasn't. So, for example, The Rock, he didn't get any percentage on merch, because he was The Rock. Wow. But if he came into the game as Dwayne Johnson, and he was known as Dwayne Johnson, then he would get a percentage of all merchandise sales.
I think he's still doing okay.
He's definitely doing fine.
He is definitely doing okay.
What? Rock's got to be $300, $400 million by now.
Oh yeah, he's I don't know the number, but he's definitely up there. Because I think for a couple of years in a row now, he had maintained his number one status, like as an actor.
Yeah, he's the number one actor in the world. Right?
Yeah, he's doing all right. You want to get into this question of the day?
You know I do. Let's go. Come
because
on.
Why not? I think that I love when Andy plays this.
Love him.
And I want to know your thoughts on this. I thought it was pretty interesting. It says, avoid marrying the family breadwinner, especially if the family grew up in struggle and he has pulled them out of it. Abort mission.
Avoid marrying
the breadwinner of the family.
A woman should not marry a man that is the breadwinner
of the family. And she says, especially if the family grew up in struggle and he has to pull them out of it.
Wow.
So I thought that was very interesting because you, obviously, women, you're trying to date the man. You want the man. You want, the guy who is the breadwinner, the guy who's like, who can protect you, who can make you feel safe, right? And so, but if you're dating him and he is the man in that family, it's like he's not only saving you, he's saving the family as well. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a toughie.
Isn't it?
Because any guy that is in that position is going to have an A-type personality. And I would think that's what most women go for. A man that's got a little drive, a little ambition out there, ready to take over. You wouldn't want a man that's a little more passive, that's not going to take the ball and run with it. I don't know. But is he spread too thin is the question. Does he have other responsibilities other than you? Right.
Well, some would consider the rest of your family your responsibilities.
Who's the priority?
Who is the priority? Well, even what if he's able to balance it out pretty well? What if I guess the question for me is from the woman's perspective. If you're the type of woman who you want to be the only person taken care of by this man, regardless of family or whatever.
That's exactly what all y'all women want. Stop it.
That's not true. That is not true.
Stop it. You don't care about his mama.
That's not true.
You don't care about his family.
That is not true. What if he's able to do everything? What if he's able to take care of you financially, his family financially, but I guess it could... The family who has come from struggle, they're always going to be calling your man. They're always going to be asking money. And then when you guys get married, it's the family money, right? The family account, even though he's done well for himself and he's pretty much the provider.
Right.
It's really your family is now the priority, and your previous family is always going to be calling.
As a wife or even a fiance, let's say even a girlfriend, Can you ever regulate how much money your man can give to his family? His mama? His sisters? What if they're struggling? Can you ever say, no, you ain't? Have you seen that viral video about the guy who's at the shoe store?
No.
And he's trying to buy, I think his girlfriend was buying some shoes. And he was like, get some for my son. And she goes, you already paying child support. You're already paying $1,200 in child support. You're not going to buy some shoes too.
Okay. A very similar video where the couple was at home and he was saying his son needed some shoes. The wife or the girlfriend, whoever she was, went off. She was like, you're not buying him any shoes. You already pay child support. The mom,
she's got to be the same or close to it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, she's willing to just go at this man for wanting to buy his son some shoes.
But is she right?
I know.
What if they're struggling financially because he's a responsible father to his child? He's got to pay all his child support. And she's like, why are you spending more money on your child? You're doing for your child already.
Well, in that case, if they're struggling, so it's like if you're going to do that when we're still struggling, then I'd have a problem with that. But if you are doing just fine and you are still paying child support, but you also like to buy your son some shoes, then that's something that it comes from you. The child support, the mom is in control of how to do something nice for your son, then go ahead and do it. And personally, if he was doing well enough to take care of everyone, I would say this: what kind of progress or what kind of effort is your family putting in? Are they really trying? If they're really trying, then let's help them out. Let's help them achieve whatever financial goal they have. But this is not an allowance type of thing. This isn't that. So if they're just leechers because you made it up out the hood, you made it up out the struggle.
That's mama. That could be mama.
That's a tough one, huh? That's a difficult situation.
Is the wife or the mother, or excuse me, the wife or the girlfriend or the fiance or whatever, ever a priority over mama?
The wife is. The wife is.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. The girlfriend is not quite.
Yeah.
Not even the fiance.
Not even fiance. Until the paperwork is signed.
That's right. Because anything could happen. Anything could happen. All right. That was the question of the day. I liked it. I liked your answer, Danny Mo.
I think we agree on that one for sure.
Okay. All right, cool. Well,
Get somebody that got a greedy mama. That's the thing right there.
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Well, when we come forward, we will get to your inspiration of the day on the other side. It's KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles, by George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Tweets with racial slurs have soared since Elon Musk took over Twitter. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. Only a week after the Tesla CEO bought Twitter, reports of the racial epithet used to attack black people was reportedly used 26,000 times, tripling its average this year. And a slur used to target trans people increased by 53%. Instances of offensive terms for homosexual men soared 39% over the yearly average. Examples of offensive terms used to target both Jews and Hispanic people also increased. This all according to research done by the Center for Countering Digital Hate. KBLA listeners, the man who describes himself as a free speech absolutist taking over Twitter. Let us know by tweeting us at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 would like to thank all the businesses that tune into KBLA at work. We celebrate you, your calls to the station, and your overall support. To show our appreciation, we would like to treat your office to a lunch for 10, brought to you by K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app or log on to KBLA1580.com to be selected for our Office of the Week. We know you are just like our staff, putting in many smart, hard-working hours per week. We just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. You and your staff deserve lunch on us. Enter your office to win lunch for 10 and be highlighted on KBLA Talk 1580 as our Office of the Week. Open the KBLA app or log on to KBLA 1580 to enter your office today to become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. Sponsored by K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering.com. Become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, reminding you when we fight, we win. Asian Americans Advancing Justice is the nation's largest legal and civil rights organization for Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. Founded in 1983 as the Asian Pacific American Legal Center, Advancing Justice LA serves more than 15,000 individuals and organizations every year. Their mission is to advocate for civil rights, provide legal services and education and build coalitions to positively influence and impact Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and to create a more equitable and harmonious society. To volunteer, make a donation, or seek assistance, visit advancingjustice-la.org. That's advancingjustice-la.org. Or call 888-349-9695. 888-349-9695. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Right now, it is time for your motivational. What is the motivational moment of the night? What are we calling it?
I like it. The motivational moment.
Ooh, let's do it.
Let's go ahead.
Go on, make some money on tech. Go ahead, it's all yours.
Yeah, this one today comes from. Well, you talked about E.T., right?
Yeah, love Eric Thomas.
Well, this ain't him, but.
Dang! You got somebody better than E.T.?
Prime time. No,
okay, listen.
Well, I mean,
Beyond right there.
He's up there. He's definitely, he has that E.T. type of energy. You know what I'm saying? But he's talking about opportunities and what are you going to do with your opportunities? So let's go ahead and take a listen to that and break it down on the other side.
We better than that. And some of you guys have been asking for opportunities, and you get opportunities, you ain't doing nothing with them. You got to do something with the opportunities, man. That's what makes you great. That's what puts you on a pedestal. That's when people start to clap and call your name. Come to you. Everybody's going to somehow have a darn opportunity to make a play if you're on that darn field. And you got to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out, did you do what we needed to do for us to win? Everything that we needed you to do. Some of y'all just going through the motion, man, and we better than this.
When he gets into that locker room, he starts going off. I mean, and I love the fact that, listen, who can deny that he knows what he's talking about and that he knows true motivation, right? But it is true. It's like, what do you do with the opportunity when it's given to you? I did this reel on my page, and I loved it. I still love it. That's why I pinned it at the top of my page of my Instagram, because I played the song, what would you do, or what you gonna do, or whatever the song.
What would you do? Was your song?
No, it wasn't. No. The song. It's J.O. It's a J.O. felony.
Oh, boom, 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 boom,
yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom.
What you gonna do is your method, man. J.O. felony.
I can give it
right
to
there.
you, but what you gonna do with it? And if you don't play that after the top of the hour, we're gonna fight.
Yes, I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? And I put that as the track to my reel, because I was given an opportunity to host the after show for the Johnson on Bounce TV, the Johnson series.
I'm halfway through the season. I gotta get back to it.
Through the second season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
I watched the whole first season.
Okay, well at least you're right in the pocket, right? So not bad. I mean, you are kind of behind, but it's not bad. I'm not knocking you. There's another by the way, there's another Bounce TV show that came out called Finding Happy, and I'm going to have one of the executive producers, and she's actually on the show as well. She's going to be on this show coming soon. The show is just incredible. It's with B. Simone.
Tisha Campbell.
No.
Isn't Tisha Campbell on there?
No.
What's the one with the three ladies?
That's a new.
I saw you on there today.
What, like as
I saw you like
yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be I think Kim Whitley. That's gonna be forget her name. Nicole.
Yvette
Nicole Brown, thank you, and Tisha. It's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be all this great stuff. But there's another show currently on Bounce called Finding Happy, starring B. Simone, and a friend of mine who is the executive producer of Johnson, but she's also the executive producer of Finding Happy.
They're branching out, huh?
They are branching out. They are doing some major things, and she'll be on the show soon. But the point that I was making is the opportunity was extended to me, and I was so scared. because I had never done anything like that before. I had never done anything. Well, I've been on television before, but not in that capacity where it was going to be every single week.
Right.
And just that level of pressure is really hard to endure. But at the same time, if you want something and you've always been thinking of something in your head and the opportunity actually comes to you, what do you do with your opportunity?
Come on.
What are you going to do with it? You have to say yes. You have to jump while you are scared. Do it while scared. While you're scared, and the most beautiful things can come on the other side of it. So, sitting in that chair that you're sitting in, that's an opportunity that came to me.
Yeah.
To pilot the show, right?
You want to tell that story real quick?
What?
When I was gone for a couple of days, I knew that someone was going to come in and do the show with you. But I thought the person that came in was going to sit in this seat. I was so excited to see you take the reins and say, I got it.
Yes,
and you killed it!
Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. It is the performance of the year! You absolutely killed it. And I don't know why you would ever doubt yourself. Just jump in and do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, well, that's pressure when you're not necessarily prepared for it.
He's bowing before you right now. Giving you love.
Oh, Andy thank you so much. And you know what? It was so great the second time when I came back and did it the second time, and Andy was right there holding me down as he always does. It felt so good. It felt like somebody, just holding your hand who you're so familiar with, right? So, Andy, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. I'm sure we tell you all the time, but I'm telling you again right now that you are the man. But anyway, yes, saying yes to your opportunity. I want to know from you, Danny.
Oh my God! I mean,
when is the last time? First of all, when is the last time you put out there into the universe that you were ready for an opportunity, no matter how scared you were?
The same seat that you're just talking about.
Okay.
When Tyler Smiley called me, I was crying like a newborn baby, but I knew I was ready. Being in the same city for 20 years and doing all my media work down there, doing all the social. And I've been praying for years. Give me a larger platform and I will do your work. God, I will do your work on a larger platform. And here we are, KBLA Talk 1580. I think you and I are on the same path. We're on the same wavelength, using this frequency to empower others, inspire others. Andy too. All three of us. And that was my time. Last year. It was like February 2021. And Tavis called me, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm on the phone with Tavis.
It was February 2021, and I came here February 2022.
Look,
in sync, man. We are in sync.
We are
in alignment.
We are
not the Backstreet Boys. That was your raw report. That was the motivation moment. That's what you call it, right?
Motivational moment.
Motivational moment. Yeah, that was definitely the raw report. Thanks to my amazing guest, Rosina Pierce. That was awesome, and I hope you guys learned something today.
News and traffic right now. When we come forward, upon further review clips, and we will further the discussion as well. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Russia is taking Brittany Griner to a penal colony in the Mordovia region. Reuters reports the American basketball star was moved to an undisclosed prison location. 9 years in a penal colony on drug charges in August. The white gunman charged in a racially motivated mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, will plead guilty. That's according to an attorney